men do not know what they want for the most part, and that's okay. You know, they often follow the models of other people trying to make them fit their world. And, you know, you've got to find your own way. You've got to figure out what you want, not what anybody else wants. And, you know, be bold enough and have the courage to do it your way and then receive it and land with it. You know, if you're constantly going, giving, and never getting anything in return, then what does that mean? Your cup's completely empty.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. Tim, how's it going, brother?
What a great intro. Sound like a wrestler. Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews.
I picture you in cape and tights, bro.
Yeah. It's going good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, Tim, today's topic is really poignant because we talked about it actually earlier today. Today's topic is making your business serve your life instead of your life serving your business.
Very poignant.
It is very poignant. And, you know, you and I went and worked out this morning on the way back from the gym. I was leaving you a Voxer about this topic, not knowing we were going to talk about it. And then you called me and we actually talked about it for quite a while because it was really poignant with some of the things that are going on in the organization as well as some of the men that we're working with right now. But you actually put this topic on our list because we're preparing now for these calls, put this topic on our list yesterday. So what did you want to talk about around this?
Okay, so to just give this some context. So, there's a couple of talking points. But again, to give it some context, I'm going to start from the beginning. So, as some of you may or may not know, you know, the guys come to us, the men that we work with, when they come to us, you know, the activation method and the alpha reset has really been designed in order to get the men unchained and unstuck so they can really start to know who they are and what it is they want. And it isn't until we get into the brotherhood that we really peel the curtain back on their business, and we conduct some audits, as you know, Doug, and part of those was their organization chart, the KPIs within their organization, the communication hierarchy that they use, how they conduct their staff meetings, and basically how, as the leader of the company, they have visibility over the company so they can lead it. Now, one thing that we always find with the men is that, you know, they've very much gone into business by default. You know, it's usually been out of the need to get out of some kind of pain, and they've thrust themselves into business, into work, just, you know, the need to make money. And that pain could either be, you know, a lifestyle situation, you know, they've got to make money, or it could be the pain to prove themselves. That's often a common one. The pain to gain significance, which ultimately is love and belonging and so on and so forth. But where I'm going with this is what this culminates in is them having a business that is very chaotic. And when we ask them to submit their organization chart and KPIs and communication hierarchies and all those things, they often don't have them. And this isn't anything against them. It's just that they've not ever led their company in that way because their business has been set up in a way whereby their life is all about their business and not their business about their life. So the first thing that we do, as you're aware, is we really get clear on what their 2-year vision is. Personally, first and foremost, how they want to be living, how many hours a week they want to be working, where they want to go, what they want to do, you know, what it really looks like for them to live their best life. And then what amount of money does that require on a monthly basis? And this will include savings, investments, you know, the whole picture. And then what we do is we like to back up their business into it. And then the way in which we do this is plug in their take-home number and the number of hours they want to work per week into the monthly gross revenue for the company. And as a result, you know, then look at the organization chart. Does that get to shift and change in order to fulfill on the services that you will sell in order to hit the increased revenue? Do you get to bring on more staff? What does the organization chart look like? What are the KPIs? And we get to dive into that part of the conversation and then support them to implement that. We'll get into the strategy and the how. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because, transparently, within the Powerful Man, the organization itself is growing quickly. Over the past year, it 4x'd, and it's set to do at least the same again this year, which then means that we then get to continually revisit our desires, personally and professionally, our organization chart, our KPIs, and the people within our organization, how we are leading them. And, again, transparently, no point hiding anything here, is there? The past few days, I've been a little bit off, as you quite rightly pointed out. And it's been my energy that's been lower than usual. And what I've come to realize over the past few days is that I have been just working too much. And, to put this into context, we're still living a great life, still meditating every morning, going to the gym, eating well, travel, go away a lot to events with Amelia, date night. Everything still is happening in a great way from a lifestyle perspective, but my enjoyment of it hasn't been there as much, because although I've been doing the things, my energy has been lower because I've been having such an output within the organization. So I've then not been able to refill my cup as much and really receive the moments that I have been having in my life. And then that led to our conversation. I said to you, Doug, look, I'm not willing to sacrifice my life to build this organization. I'm just not going to do it. I don't believe we need to do it at all. Between the hours that I put in each week, you put in, the rest of the team puts in, there's several hundred hours per week that go towards building this business and organization. And I said, look, I'm not willing to sacrifice my relationship or my other hobbies or things I want to do just to get there faster. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. And you then came back with an amazing... Now, I was very grateful for you, Doug. Very, very grateful for the way that you took a stand for me. And I love how aligned we are in our vision and outlook on business. Business is really there to serve our life. Yes, we get to do something meaningful in the world that also gives us fulfillment and purpose. And we get to do it in a way whereby it serves our life. That's like an absolute must for you and I. And one of the reasons why we get on so well, in my opinion. So when I brought this to you, obviously you completely agreed. And your response was great. Said, Tim, take Wednesday off. I'll take it one day off during the week. Work a Wednesday. Because I came to you and said, Doug, I'm working 12 till 6. Not doing anything after that. In the morning, I do my morning routine for the first 5 hours, meditate, work out, eat, chat with Amelia, hang out. Then I'll get my tasks done, my main tasks done from 12 until 6. Then after 6, not doing anything. I'm going to invest that time and energy into myself and my hobbies and my life. And you said, oh, that's awesome. Do it. And why don't you take a day off during the week? Take Wednesday off. And it's funny because I've been planning on taking Wednesday off. Amelia and I have been discussing about me taking Wednesday off. And then you say, take Wednesday off. And then you said, oh, but you could make it up on Saturday. In fact, no, scrap that. You don't need to make it up on Saturday. Take Wednesday off. Work 4 days. Get your stuff done. It's all about the outcome. We get to lead this company in a way, and we are doing, it's just, new level, new devil. Every time there's growth that occurs, like I said, revisit the org chart, KPIs, leadership, all that kind of stuff. And again, the reason why I wanted to bring this up with the listeners is because I think two things. One, as men, as leaders, as people who I love building this organization. I absolutely love it. And it's the type of thing I do for free, which I'm very, very grateful for. And as leaders, as men, as business owners, because we often love what we do, we can sometimes lose ourselves in it and forget why we're doing it in the first place. And for me, one of the main reasons for this is, yes, to contribute to the world and be fulfilled and on purpose, and to also have a particular lifestyle There's a reason why I chose to have an online business that I can work from anywhere in the world. There's a reason why I chose to partner with certain people. There's a reason, and so on and so forth. And I think, as business leaders, we can sometimes just forget that and lose sight of why we got into this in the first place, and allow our businesses to become, allow our lives rather, to become all about the business. It doesn't work. I'm the one that does a lot of the enrollment conversations, and I speak to men every day that have gone so far down the path of letting their life serve their business, to the point whereby the relationships are completely suffering, the health is non-existent, the happiness is not there, and they're just running on fumes and they're running on empty. And it doesn't have to be that way at all. And one of the reasons why I reached out to you when we partnered together is because, like I said a moment ago, you very much live by this philosophy, and I admire in a lot of ways how you have set your life up and your businesses up so that they give you the space and the freedom to do things like travel across the United States with your amazing wife and son, to be working a few hours a day. As you've said, your businesses grow better when you're not there, because people have the freedom to be themselves and they come up with ideas and they solve problems. And it doesn't mean you don't have visibility of what's going on. It's just a different type of leadership, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's so much to unpack there, but it is a different type of leadership. And it's a paradigm shift. You got to remember, the idea of taking Saturday and Sunday off, came from an old paradigm. It doesn't apply today, right? It doesn't apply to today's business market or today's world. And for some reason, probably most people listening to this, work a typical 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or whatever, 8 to 6 type job. But why? Have they stopped and asked questions why? So, I've went through this as well, Tim. And, one of the things that we don't want to make this a Tim and Doug love fest, but, that you do a great job reflecting when you know something's not working for you, you stop, you take pause, and instead of blaming someone else, like many people do, me being one of them, right, you take pause and take ownership of what it is and find out what's working, and you seek counsel, right? You go to someone to talk to. And I think what's important here for a lot of the men to know, and we get messages all the time where people are like, oh, well, you guys got it all figured out. Well, we got a lot figured out because we've been through it and we know the path, but we also coach each other, right? Everybody on the leadership team with a powerful man we've already attained a certain level of success in our lives, one way or the other. And we coach each other and we help each other along the path. And when one of us dips, the other person steps in and picks that person up. And I think that is key. And when we talk about making your business serve your life instead of your life serving your business, I think the question gets to become for the men listening to this, first of all, is your business serving your life, or are you serving your business? And then how can you tell, right? Well, a couple ways you might be able to tell are looking at your stress levels and energy levels. And like you said, you were like, I got to work all these hours. And to our credit, when you 4X a company in such a short period of time, and then you're 4Xing it again, and you're on pace to 10X, and that's not just some term, but we're actually doing that. When you look back less than a year ago, it's already 10X what the movement was and could be. And we had to do some serious changes to make that a reality in doing that. And so oftentimes that becomes comparison. But you want to ask yourself, look, am I working to work, or am I working to serve a greater good, right? What is the purpose and the outcome? And I think that's the point you came to, Tim, and why you did such a great job of it, is you're saying, hey, what do I, Tim Matthews, what do I want out of this movement that's called the Powerful Man?
Yeah, and thank you for saying such nice things. I kind of like this being a love fest. Yeah.
Well, it's mutual respect, right? I mean, you and I know each other. Look, here's the deal. You're in the UK, I'm in the US, but we know, love, and respect each other, and we get to communicate a lot. And we both have a passion for helping men achieve their better selves, really, right? Stop being average, stop sedating, sitting on the couch and doing all the things. We've been through it, and we've pulled hundreds of men out of this darkness, this abyss. And, we share that in common. So having a love fest, it's really easy for me to do that with you, because what we're talking about, making your business serve your life instead of life serving your business, I get to witness you literally help men achieve this on a daily basis. And so there is nothing but respect
Thank
there.
you.
Hey guys, I want to interrupt this episode because I want to talk to you about something important. We put together a case study on how almost 300 men have taken control of their lives. They're 4Xing their business revenues, and they're having more connected and intimate sex, all without sacrificing their relationships or their health by using the activation method. Now, a lot of you have contacted us and they want to know how they're doing it. We put together this short 11-minute case study just for you, so you can see how these entrepreneurs are achieving this level of success. To get this case study, all you have to do is go over to thepowerfulman.com/11. Yep, that's 11. And you can get the case study right now. All right, it's only 11 minutes and it's going to show you exactly how these men have done it. All right, let's get back to the episode.
Thank you. And yeah, as I was doing some reflecting yesterday, I remembered the time when, how many years ago was it? 5 or 6 years ago. And, we had an office, a base in Leeds, an actual office space. We had a fitness business then. As a franchise, actually, and we had potential franchisees come to the office space in Leeds, usually once a month, where I would then present the franchise opportunity to all these fitness professionals. People would come on board, then train them up and implement the systems and so on and so forth. And I reached a point then that back then my life was all about my business. My business was not set up in a way to serve my life. I was working, leave the house at 6 a.m., go work out, get to the office by about 8, 9 a.m., sometimes not leave the office until 7 p.m., get home about 8 p.m. My then girlfriend at the time, she was a nurse, so she worked shifts. So the days that she worked shifts, that was an excuse for me to work even longer. And I'd then pick her up from work. And I was in that pattern for so many years, and it caused so much friction between her and I. It wasn't the main reason why we didn't work, but, it did cause friction. It was definitely a major complaint for her. And, when I went through a period of change in my life, one of the things that I changed was the business. I got rid of all the franchisees. I completely changed the business model. I moved it all online so that I could run it from anywhere in the world. It wasn't an overnight transition, of course. We actually turned around and employed a lot of the franchisees to deliver the boot camps for us across the UK. And we ended up, we were delivering boot camps from down south in Surrey all the way up to Scotland. Point being with this is that it took me maybe about 10 to 12 months. And the thing with this, Doug, there's always an epiphany, isn't there? And my epiphany came when I met one of my great friends, Tom Crawshaw, George's brother, George. And I just got, I wasn't supposed to go out on this one Saturday night. I just randomly, last minute, went out, met Tom, got introduced to him by a friend of a friend who was younger than me, working his business online, working fewer hours, helping more people, earning more money. I was like, oh my God, this is like the real life example of everything I knew that was possible. Like everything I knew, it was like black and white. He was there, happy, free, making more money, had a smile on his face. And I was like over here, just working like a dog. I work in so many more hours, not getting anywhere near as far ahead as him. And whenever, I just stood there looking at this. It was like looking in a mirror, and I thought, what the hell am I doing? And that was a real catalyst for me to really change, make this shift really to my business serve my life. And like I said, it's when we then restructured the business model and moved everything around. And again, fast forward to today, it's purposeful that we have this an online business with the Powerful Man, so we can run it from anywhere in the world, and we can work anytime we want, and all these great things that we get to do. And the thing with this is there's still growth that gets to occur. We don't have everything figured out. We have a lot figured out, but we're always growing, which always means we get to find solutions. We always don't know the answer to certain things. We seek counsel. And, with a company that is growing so fast, I think the terminology for a company like this is a gazelle, I think. But with a company that is growing so fast, it's so key to know where you're going, and for us to always come back to, why are we doing this? Yes, it's for the men. That's one side of it. But it's not all about the men. There's no point just saying that it's all about the men, because then we'll be a charity. It's a huge part of it is about the men, and the other part of it is about us as well. Everybody gets to win. The men get to win, we get to win, the world gets to win, everybody gets to win. In order for us to win, Doug, you and I personally, and your wife and your son and my partner and our future kids and your future kids and so on and so forth, the guys in the team, we get to keep reminding ourselves of why it is we got into this in the first place and where it is we are going.
So true, man. And so taking this back, Tim, back to the topic at hand, that's the key step. Why are you doing it? So if you're a business owner, why did you get into business? What's the most common thing? I want more freedom, right? Do you have it? And if you don't, why don't you have it? Most people never take the time to look at it. They realize they've been running their business for, 5, 6, 10, 20 years, and they really have a job, And if you have a job, then is your job serving you, right? Does it serve you to its highest level? For the Powerful Man as a movement, and one of the reasons I got involved, besides just you, of course, was because of the mission. You look at suicide rates, it's just not talked about, in the top 10 all around the world. For men, it's just ridiculous. And it's not a conversation topic. And part of this is taking time to reflect on what is it you want, not what society tells you want, not what you're supposed to do, but what is it you want? And if you're a business owner, you have a particular advantage. You get to dictate a lot of the rules, right? You get to decide if you're going to take Wednesday off or make it up on Saturday, or why. Why do you have to work 40 hours? Who said that? Who said to make your business successful, you had to work 40, 60 hours? Was it Gary Vaynerchuk that said you had to grind it out more than the other guy? No disrespect to him. I have nothing but respect for him and what he's achieved. I'm just saying, as an example, you got to question these things. And the first question we ask the men, and this happens all the time, and I'm sure you could tell a million stories about this. But what do we ask them? We ask them, "Hey, what do you want?" And I would say 9 times out of 10, the guys don't know. And these are extremely educated, well-versed men. They really are. And yet they don't know what they want, because no one's asked them truly asked them. Not kind of the, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. But really, what is it you really want? And then try and take the time to figure that out. And then if you're a business owner, how do you make sure your business serves those needs, right? How do you make sure they do it? Coming up in a couple of weeks, you'll be flying out here to the States. You and I, we already talked about we're going to Treehouse Brewery because it's rated one of the best breweries in the world from something I read, and we were going to go check it out. We're doing that during the work week. We'll get stuff done. We're entrepreneurs, so we're always, in entrepreneur mode. But we get to do that because we just said, hey, this sounds fun. Let's do it. You're flying out, and here we're going to go, and we'll talk about business. We'll talk about how we can make the movement better. We'll talk about the men that we serve, and then we'll go have a beer together for fun. Not getting out of hand, not doing anything, but we choose to do that because that's our life. And I don't know about you, Tim, and I say this all the time, but and I think it bears repeating, is I was never guaranteed a second life. I don't know if you were, or anybody listening to this had guarantee, like, yep, you get a do-over, get a mulligan, right? Just do this one, cruise through it, and the next one counts. No, this one counts. You get to have it all, or at least work having it all today. And if your business isn't serving you now, today, in this moment, you get to make a decision to make a change. Hire a coach, join a program, make a plan to leave your job. I'm not saying quit your job if you work at a job right now, or exit your company by walking away. Make a plan, make a strategic plan to make it happen, but take a drastic change. In the moment of decision, take drastic action. And right now is that time. If you're listening and this resonates with you, I'm officially calling you out.
I love it. I love it. And, in my opinion, one of the reasons why suicide rates are so high right now is because of this fact. Men do not know what they want for the most part, and that's okay. They often follow the models of other people, trying to make them fit their world. And you've got to find your own way. You've got to figure out what you want, not what anybody else wants. And be bold enough and have the courage to do it your way, and then receive it and land with it. If you're constantly going, giving, and never getting anything in return, then what does that mean? Your cup's completely empty, which then leads to those feelings of depression and isolation and failure and so on. And you're so right. If you're resonating with this, I call you out too. I call you forward. Change it. You do not get another shot at this life. It's just, now is the time. When is now a good time, as some people like to say.
Yes. Yes, some people, right? So, gentlemen, coming out of this conversation, first of all, I hope you got a lot out of this. There's a lot to unpack that Tim said, but if any of this serves you or any of this comes to you of this just rings true in your heart, and when something's true when you feel it, right? When you can really put yourself in that place, I invite you to step forward and take action, whatever that action may be. Find, a mentor or somebody or a program or whatever it is that has that lifestyle that you want, that life that you want, and emulate them, right? That's the best way to leapfrog results, is find people who are already on the path a little bit further ahead of you or much further ahead of you, and emulate them and do it now. And make that investment in time and money and in yourself. And part of that could start by just sitting down, pen and paper in hand, and asking, put it right at the top of that paper, what do I want? And then just let that free flow. Let that come out of you. Nothing's wrong, right? Don't make anything wrong. No judgments. What is it you want? What is it you desire in life? And go back in that and look. And when you look at that, what is it in your life that you're actually doing? Are you doing those things, right? Are you loving those things? Are you able to take Wednesday off like Tim is going to and hang out with your significant other or play guitar? I'm not sure what you're doing, Tim, but you're doing one of those, I'm sure. And, if you're not able to do that and you want to, now it's time to make a plan to get your results. Tim, anything else you want to leave these guys with?
Yeah, one other thing, if you're stuck on this too and you are in the Activation Method Facebook group, just post something, ask us. We're in there, we're active in there. Just ask a question. We'll happily help you out. This is such an important point. So often we speak to the men that have lived for some day, waiting and hoping that someday in the future it's going to change. When they get to a certain point, that's when they'll change everything. But sometimes either that point never arrives or it arrives too late, and before you know it, your wife or significant other is handing you the divorce papers and your relationship's over and your hand is enforced. Do not let it get to that point. You do not let it get to the point of no return before you then realize that you got to change this. Catch it early. You've got the support within the group, or join a program, or whatever you get to do, right at the top of the paper, answer the question, whatever. But if this is resonating with you, then do something.
Amen. All right, gentlemen, that's a wrap for us for today, and we will see you next time here on The Powerful Man Show.